Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, and welcome to our detailed breakdown of the TCX X-Cube boot. Now, if you've watched any of our TCX videos before, or if you're familiar with the TCX line, you're going to realize that this boot is very similar to something like the TCX X-Squared, which is going to be the entry-level version. The TCX X-Cube is a more technical, more protective, and really a higher cuffed version. You know, from this boot, if you want to take a step up, you know, you're at the $129 price range, you're at sizes 7 to 13 on the X-Cube. To go from here, you really go to the S0, which is TCX entry-level track boot, which is a full-on track-legal track boot. This guy's not going to get it done on the track. But what you have with this is an upgraded and protective spirited sport riding boot that's great for everyday riding or trips around town, commuting, but it's also comfortable enough, and I guess the first thing we can home in on here is the flexion in the sole. You're going to have a tech sole on this guy. It's anti-slip, it's anti-slip, anti-oil, but it is soft enough that you can walk around it and it's reasonably comfortable. You know, I put this guy on, I wear about a 9.5 in Nikes, or I wear a 10 in Nike actually. I think reasonably I'm about a 9.5, I'm a 43 Euro. And this guy fits plenty good. It's big enough in the areas that it needs to be. I don't feel like I'm getting squeezed. It's a European Italian boot, but it has a fit of an American foot. So it's not gonna be one of those boots that you have to go a complete size up or even a half size up. I feel like it fits true to size. The upper on this guy is going to be suede. It's going to be Lorica, which is synthetic leather on high impact areas, and you're going to have Airtex mesh for breathability. Now this boot is waterproof, which is a nice touch. You know, the X-Squared is not going to be waterproof, the X-Cube is waterproof. It uses TCX, basically TCX version of Gore-Tex, which is a waterproof breathable membrane bootie that lives within this boot, and what that does is it keeps all of the elements out, rain, snow, sleet, any moisture out of your foot, but it allows your foot to sweat, to be active, to allow the heat to radiate off, as well as the perspiration to evaporate out. And what that does is it keeps you from being clammy. You can be cold and clammy, you can be warm and clammy. Being clammy, period, sucks in footwear. And when your feet sweat a lot, like most people's do, you want to be able to have that, you know, have your foot reacclimatize itself with the outside world. This boot's going to help you do that really well. Some of the other notable upgrades over the X-Squared are going to be you have it's more of a speed lace system now. You have reinforcement that goes over the loops, you know, where the laces connect. If you can see that from the front on here. You know, in my personal opinion, nothing's more frustrating, and especially, you know, I'll call myself out, you know, jump on my bike, have to run to the store really quickly, throw my jacket on, throw my helmet, throw my gloves, but I might have a pair of sneakers, and you end up with a foot peg with a lace on it. A non-technical boot on a motorcycle is not a good thing. It just sets yourself up for problems. So having it where you have even more functionality across the laces that they're going to be covered gives you the best chance for your laces to hold up over time, but also to not get caught in any of your controls. As we move up here, this boot's dramatically higher than the X-Squared. It's going to go really high on your foot. It's going to kind of start about cover that first quarter of your calf, so to speak. Notice when I pull this guy open, you have a nice high tongue. You have these loops on the inside here. As I turn it this way, you're going to notice we have a rubberized insert for stability and for reinforcement. And we also, TCX is really, really big on protection, both medially and laterally. So you have a hard part, polyurethane hard part of the ankle cockpit here. It's reinforced on the inside, and it's a big plastic pad, you know, that covers about that much of your ankle, but you can see that the top of this guy is exposed and it's coated in nylon, woven nylon. In my opinion, it adds a cool style feature to it. We have the same thing on the inside as well. You know, we already covered this Velcro cuff that comes across the top. It's another protective element. It's going to cover your laces up. If we move to the back, you have the heel counter. Again, part of this sole that wraps up to guard against crushing. And then we have reinforced leather, and then you have a rubberized pull. The interior guts of this guy are going to be air mesh. If you can come in here tight, you see at the top, it's a more breathable woven air mesh, and as you go down into the boot, it's actually a really, really soft suede-like material. So it's absorbent, it's wicking, but it's really, really comfortable. So $129 for this guy. Spirited sport riding on and off the bike. Looks great under a pair of jeans, but it's going to protect you reasonably well. It's over $39, we'll ship it for free. If you get the wrong size, fire it back to us. We'll ship the size exchange for free as well. And as always, being over $100, you're going to earn TeamZilla cash towards your next order at RevZilla.com. And if you have any questions, shoot us a line. See us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. You can find this guy at RevZilla.com/TCX-Boots. This is the TCX X-Cubed boot at $129, part of the 2011 lineup. We'll see you next time on RevZilla TV.